Today, I made a choice, a conscious choice to be here, and a conscious choice to speak to you. Now, the reason for this is complex, and you could say it is the result of a number of choices I made in the past. Raise your hands if you've done something for the very first time today. Has anyone done something for the very first time today? I have. And it's not something I particularly wanted to do, but I guess I had no choice. I passed out. Stone cold, spread-eagled on the bathroom floor, the ultimate cliche, there I was, waking up, not knowing how I got there, with the shower curtain on top of me. Now, you and I are probably equally happy that the shower curtain was on top of me, because you would not want to imagine me lying on the bathroom floor without it. How I ended up there is probably a result of other choices. Some things in life we can't control, some things in life we have no choice over, but other things we do. We have no choice about the fact that we live in quarantine right now, and especially in Spain, we live in quite a strict one. We cannot really leave our homes for anything other than buy groceries. My groceries usually are in liquid form. Now that is my choice. And maybe the intake of liquid groceries led to the state that I am in today. But here I am with a bruise, which is quite impressive, and you're lucky that you cannot see it on screen now, and maybe some cracked ribs. And as I found myself in that state, I faced another choice. That choice was, should I call an ambulance, or should I stay at home and attend a storytelling session? Now, under normal circumstances, this would be an easy choice, right? Ambulance. I mean, health is more important. But these are not normal times. You call an ambulance, it takes you to hospital, you catch corona, you die. Versus you stay at home, put an ice pack on your ribs, turn on your laptop, and see your friends across Europe telling stories. So what could have been a tough choice became an easy choice. But then I saw Sabi. And Sabi reminded me of a choice I made a few weeks ago when I attended the residential weekend in Prague. Now that in itself was an easy choice. Sabi told me, hey, I'm doing a speech in Prague, residential weekend. I said, what's that? You don't know residential weekend? Come and join me and listen to me give a speech in Prague. I thought, tough choice. On the one hand, Prague, beautiful city. I've never been to it. I've heard so much about it. Wonderful architecture, beautiful women. What's not to love? I want to go to Prague. But on the other hand, Sabi. You see, whenever we go to an event, we share a room together. Now, there are some things you should know about Sabi. Sabi has some strange habits, especially in bed. He snores for India. You will not meet a more musical, more varied snorer than Sabi. The first time I heard his performance, like all of us, I was impressed. But even the most impressive performance suffers from repetition. So I knew what I was getting myself into. But still, Prague, architecture, women. So I signed up. Direct flights Malaga to Prague, now sadly suspended, usually take off at 10:30. So I was due to arrive around 2 a.m. My luck, of course, my flight was delayed by nearly 2 hours, so I arrived at 4. Now, these days, we wouldn't complain, would we? We would take any flight to anywhere if we could just get out, no matter how delayed. But I was grumpy. I arrived desperate for bed. I was led by the night porter up to the beautiful room that we shared. The room had 2 doors. Well, you know, one of those very old buildings where you have one door, you open that, and then you open the other door. Then you cross a room, then you open another door, and behind that door was the bedroom. I could hear the snoring from outside of the hotel room on the corridor. But I had made a choice. So I had to go in. I had nowhere else to go. It was 4 a.m. Where would I go except in there? I did what one does before one goes to bed, brush teeth, etc., etc., eased myself into the bed, which was next to his, and tried to fall asleep. Now, that would be easy under normal circumstances. 4 a.m., long flight. It was one of those beds that is fluffy, comfortable, wonderful to lie, sink into, with lots of fluffy pillows. As I was trying to fall asleep and as I was listening to this sonata, a thought popped into my head. I had a choice. I had a choice right there. I could suffer for the rest of the night, or I could put an end to my suffering. Have you ever had to make a really hard choice? Red pill, blue pill. I could get arrested for murder, but then again, I would get a good night's sleep. The pillow was right next to my head. Soft, fluffy, squishy. Slowly, I grabbed it. I raised it. I stood up from my bed, went over to his, and looked him straight in his face. But I didn't do it. And I was happy I didn't do it. Because the next day, we said hello, we gave each other a big hug, we had a wonderful time, we met Lukas, we went over to the residential weekend, he gave a brilliant speech, and I nearly forgot about it all. Until today. Because as a result of all those choices, I am here today. I am not in hospital looking after my broken ribs. I am here because I met Lukas. I am here because I met so many of you at residential weekend. And he is here because I made a choice that night. And I never thought I would come to regret it. But maybe, just maybe, next time we share a room, I might make a different choice. And when I hear those musical sounds again, I want you, ladies and gentlemen, to appreciate the fact that you had a Sabi in your life, because this may well have been his final performance.